Welcome back to Always Something. This is going to be an adventure today.
When you move to a new area, the wait can be quite a while. I've lived here for 5 months now and I'm still seeing new doctors.
This is my first time in my new location. I've recently relocated, so if you're new to my channel, I just went through a big move and now I am living in the Texas coast. So anyway, this is going to be my first time driving myself in this new area, and I'm going to a new doctor. So lots of new things for me today, and I am kind of in a hurry, so let's go. Hey, okay, so I just arrived at my first consultation visit for my new doctor, and let me tell you, the drive here was gorgeous. And here's my view. Heck yeah. So, all right, I will let you know how it goes after the visit. So, wish me luck. Talk to you in a minute. I just finished my appointment. It was a good appointment and I'm so relieved. I always get the nerves down in my stomach, and I was so happy because right on the desk was a big bowl of peppermints. And now if anybody is like me and they have stomach issues, then peppermints with real peppermint oil will calm the stomach. I was already sucking on one of my own peppermints when I walked in, and I smiled because I was able to have another peppermint, and now my stomach feels so much better.
I'm seeing new doctors next week, and so in order to get prepared for that appointment, one of the things I do to calm my nerves is to find out if I can do my new patient paperwork online or if I need to stop in early ahead of time. In this case, this doctor's office didn't have the new patient paperwork that I could do online ahead of time, so I came to the office and I picked up my new patient paperwork. Now, when I stopped in, they had quite the amount of paperwork. There's actually some extra papers down here. So it's about just shy of 10 pieces of paper here that I have to fill out. And instead of coming way early for the appointment, I preferred to pick it up and sit in the comfort of my own home to fill out the paperwork. So it's much easier for me to stop in early and get this paperwork done at home. And then also it's nice to know where I'm going days in advance, so I'm not stressed the day of trying to navigate a new place. So that helps calm the nerves. And I also picked up a medical release form. This you can pick up the day of the appointment too, but I find it easier to get that all taken care of. That way, hopefully they can have my records ahead of time. If not, at least they'll have it for the next appointment, but it's more stress off my back. I just got done with my new kidney doctor for my very first visit, and it was a very good visit. The doctor was really nice and accommodating. My medical records arrived on time, so it really worked out for me to send everything in ahead of time. And so I definitely would recommend doing that. There was a couple things that didn't make it in my chart, and I don't know why that is. So keep that in mind. Sometimes even when you do send over your record, not everything transfers. So luckily I have access to that at home on the computer. So now I get to go home and go in and get those few things that were missing and send that over myself. Not a big deal. I can take care of that. But it makes it much easier that they knew exactly what they needed, and it's not like the whole thing now that they have to dive through. It's just the few things, so makes it less stressful on me. Okay, now here is the stressful part. So most kidney doctors have their own labs in the building. Well, I shouldn't say most. I guess the ones that I've gone to in the past. This one does not. So I am due for my labs and they do not have their own lab here. So today they want me to get labs done, and so here they gave me orders, and so I have orders for the next time that I go back and then orders for today. They said I can go to any lab that takes my insurance, and but I'm like new in town. And so I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know where to go. I probably should have asked at the desk. I mean, I guess I could go back in there and ask, but, so yeah, I have to go find a lab now and go get these labs done. So I guess come with me and we will figure this out, because I have no idea where I'm going. And I mean, there is a hospital next door, so maybe I can just go over there. I don't know. But yeah, so now I have to go figure out getting these labs for these guys because they don't have one. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, so I found a place that would do my labs. What I did, I didn't go back in to the doctor. What I did is I called my primary care doctor. I actually haven't met my primary care doctor yet, but I do have one set up. So I called them and I asked them, can I just come in and do my labs there? Because I assumed they would have a lab. Well, they told me, no, I can't do my labs there. So that was not an option. They said I could do labs for them if they ordered labs, but I'm not an established patient there yet. But they did help me out. They gave me options of where I could go. So I rushed over here. I found a place. It was really easy. Turns out they're closing soon. They have walk-ins or you can make an appointment. So I rushed over here. And when I got here, you walk in, there's no person, it's all automated. So you go up to the machine and you just check yourself in. And when you check in, it asks to scan your insurance cards and do everything right there on the computer. Now, the screen said if you're a walk-in, you could wait from 30 minutes to an hour. I didn't have 30 minutes to an hour. This place closed in about 20 minutes. Nothing like a place closing in 20 minutes to get you in right away. Luckily, when I came in, there was nobody waiting in the waiting room, and so they got me in right away. And that was fantastic. Easy in, easy out, and done. So I'm all done for the day. Super excited, ready to go home. I just got out of my second kidney doctor. And why did I have two kidney doctors? Well, my autoimmune disease and vasculitis attacked my kidneys. So I learned when I was in Bryan College Station before I moved down here that sometimes it's a good idea to have two doctors, especially when it's something that's super crucial when it comes to your health. So since my autoimmune disease and vasculitis attacked my kidneys, that seems to be my most important specialist. So I went and decided to schedule with two kidney doctors when I moved because I have an infusion coming up and I wasn't sure how long it was going to take me to establish care at a kidney doctor. And so I wanted to make sure that whatever kidney doctor that I got into, first of all, that I would get in a timely fashion. And second of all, I wanted to make sure that it was going to be a good fit. So I had my first initial appointment with both kidney doctors and I'm still on the fence. So I guess when you have just a first initial appointment, it's going to be hard to find out which one is going to be the one you want to keep that quickly on. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm left even more confused now after my first initial visit. So I'm definitely going to have to figure this out. I guess there was pros and cons with both of them from both visits. Ugh. I thought I was going to have more clarity after this first visit, but I guess time will tell. So now I'm off to do yet again more labs. So let's go do some labs. So when deciding which doctor is the best fit for you, sometimes it helps to make a pro and con list, but sometimes you already know. Always trust your gut and go with your gut instinct. I think you'll have a good idea in your heart of hearts which is the way to go. And I definitely did. So I think I already know which doctor is going to be the one for me. And sometimes it helps to just discuss that with somebody you love and trust who knows you, and that can also help kind of bring some clarity. So I did that too. But going forward,
both doctors didn't have an in-house lab, so that alone wasn't going to be a determining factor at all. Now, I did go back to the same type of lab facility that I went to before to get my labs for this new doctor. And when it was another walk-in, and the wait time was a lot longer than I actually waited. So I learned not to be intimidated by the wait time because it goes much quicker than it actually tells you. They were really efficient as far as getting people back pretty fast. So having a lab not in the house wasn't an issue. Now, as far as what made me decide one doctor over another, I would say the main thing is there any red flags? Did you notice any red flags when you went to the appointment? Because sometimes you'll notice big red flags that are automatic deal breakers. And for me, there were a couple of red flags that did come up. Now, red flags may be different per person depending on what you would consider an automatic deal breaker. For me, a red flag would be a doctor that wants to make drastic changes on my medical plan on a first visit without consulting an established doctor that I already have. And in this case, that would be my Mayo doctor who has already been established and takes the lead when it comes to my medical care. In this case, with my kidneys, that is the main organ that is impacted by my autoimmune and vasculitis. So that's been a red flag for me because when this happens, this can be catastrophic when it comes to my illness.
There's absolutely no recording of pictures or videos in my new rheumatologist's office, so I didn't get any good pictures or video for you guys, but it was a good first visit. I did have to do labs. So I got poked again, and when they told me I was gonna have to do labs, I was immediately just like, all right, gotta go to another place, here I go again. But they did have in-house labs, and I was pretty happy about that. So that was a win. Got to take those wins when you get them and celebrate those little victories. I was supposed to go and do my bone density test tomorrow, but then they left a message on my voicemail during my appointment saying that I was going to have to call and reschedule. So I called them and they told me that they're doing maintenance on their machines tomorrow. So it looks like I'm going to have to wait to do that appointment for a couple weeks, which is great. That just means I have an extra free day tomorrow. So I guess another win for me. Yeah. When you move to a new area, the wait can be quite a while. I've lived here for 5 months now and I'm still seeing new doctors. On top of the long wait time, you might discover that your new doctor that you see isn't a good fit. So then you have to wait to see yet another new doctor and wait again. So it's a process and it takes time. It can take up to a year just to find a good fit with a new doctor that works for you. Because of this, I've learned that sometimes it's best to schedule with more than one primary care doctor and even more than one specialist that fits your health needs. And then the one that's the best fit, stick with that one. And then the one that isn't, let them go. Now, if your healthcare coverage doesn't allow this, it's going to take a little bit longer to sort through. And just allow yourself some grace, and you're going to have a lot of patience. Another thing to try and do if your healthcare coverage doesn't allow for multiple specialists in the same department or multiple primary care physicians is to try and keep on with your old primary care physician or your old specialists before you move, as long as you can until you get rescheduled in your new area. A lot of times you can do virtual visits, hopefully, until you can get new doctors. So that's something to look into. I was able to do that with some of my doctors until I found new doctors, and that was super helpful in my case. So that is something to try and see if it's a possibility, and that can help save you some time and help out with the transition.
Now, why is it important that I keep up with a kidney doctor and a rheumatologist? Well, my kidneys don't function like a normal person my age. And that's because when they were attacked because of my autoimmune disease and my vasculitis, my microscopic polyangiitis to be specific, that left scar tissue in my kidneys. Now, my lungs, they were also attacked, but my lungs fully regenerated, which means that my lungs currently should hopefully still be functioning normal. Depending on your autoimmune disease and vasculitis, a rheumatologist or a kidney doctor will take lead. Now, in my case, the kidney doctor has taken charge when it comes to managing my autoimmune disease, but often a rheumatologist will be the lead doctor who handles this type of illness. I already knew that my kidney functioning could only heal so much. Kidneys aren't as resilient as the lungs. I was so fortunate that my lungs fully healed, and I only had to see the pulmonary doctor in the beginning to be closely monitored. I have so many other specialists, so it's nice that I kind of get a break on that end. I am going to see a local pulmonologist coming up just to kind of touch base since it's been a long time. And I think that's smart. I love that my new doctors here are being really thorough. Every time that you start with new doctors, it's good to kind of have a new baseline. And I think that is what you should expect. So if you're not having that, that's definitely something that you definitely want to do. So if that's not something you're getting, speak up and make sure that you are receiving that kind of care. I am very happy that that's the kind of care that I'm getting. And sometimes that takes a little bit of extra work on your part, and that's okay. It's worth it. Do it. Do it. um, so my kidney doctor and my rheumatologist, all my doctors, as you saw, they gave me all kinds of extra labs. I will have very current and recent labs. My kidney function isn't to where somebody my age would have, and that's expected because I have chronic kidney disease. So it was explained to me that this is also one reason why we check my bone density. I am on a multivitamin and a vitamin D, and this is because I've had to take large doses of prednisone in the course of me having my autoimmune disease and vasculitis. And I'm not currently on prednisone now, other than when I take a little bit of it to help with my infusion. But because I've had the large doses of it, it gave me osteopenia, which is basically the stage before osteoporosis. And I haven't maintained having osteopenia the entire time. With the help of some medicines and treatment, your bones can heal too. It's great how resilient the body can be. It also depends on how well you take care of your body. So everybody take care of your bodies. It's important. Uh, It'll save you as you age. Because my kidneys aren't functioning as well as somebody my age, and even though I'm on vitamin D supplements and a multivitamin, kidneys help everybody absorb some of that extra vitamin D. And since my kidneys don't function as well, I'm still not able to absorb it as well as everybody else. So sometimes I need extra help. So they put me on another prescription. Well, I was taking one prescription for like 5 or 6 years that was supposed to help me with that extra absorption. Well, it turns out when you take it that long, the benefits kind of don't they're not as good anymore, and there can actually be worse side effects that are not good. So basically, my doctors had me stop taking that, and that's now that it's time to check my bone density again and decide, do we need to put her on something else? So that's always kind of like the decisions when you're on long-term things for chronic illness is are the benefits outweighing the risk? Because the downside of treatment for chronic illness is basically everything used to treat a chronic illness, there's risks involved. There's consequences. So it's definitely a tough kind of thing to navigate, and the doctors have a rough job, and so you definitely want to make sure you have a good team of doctors because you really have to trust their judgment, because anything that they do will affect you in some way. And I really hope that those of you that also have a complex medical history really know that it's worth taking the extra time to make sure that you find good doctors that are really going to take the time to understand your situation, make you feel comfortable, listen to you, take as much time as you need, answer all of your questions, and make you feel comfortable, not rushed, and make you feel heard. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. Careful where you step. Case, yeah. My case, bites. I don't even know what accent that is.